Okay, go for it.
Go.
Yep.
All right, this is Ted Courageous, American Rifle Company. The 2014 SHOT Show here in Las Vegas, introducing American Rifle Company's Model 2 bolt-action rifle. It's a multi-caliber platform. We can chamber it where, well, it's reconfigurable for calibers ranging from the .308 Winchester size family to on up to .338 Colt Magnum. Caliber changes require a barrel change, a bolt head and extractor change, and a magazine change. This is the bolt out of the rifle. We use a Mauser 98 extractor, and the bolt head is a separate part pinned to the bolt body here. This is not a floating bolt head. The bolt lugs in all of these rifles, including the Model 5, which uses a similar bolt, they do not need to be lapped, and the reason for that is the bolt lugs, the bearing surface of the bolt lugs is toroidal. A torus is essentially an O-ring, or you can think of it as a donut, so the bearing surface is a portion of that O-ring surface, and that bearing surface interacts with a corresponding bearing surface within the receiver, which is spherical. So when you put the two together, the bolt lugs can only contact the bearing surface within the receiver in one way. There's only one solution, basically. It will find its lowest energy state, and the contact between the bolt lugs and the receiver is insensitive to the alignment of the bolt, to the alignment of the bolt within the receiver. So no matter what the bolt is doing within the receiver, the lugs are always in proper contact, so lapping is not required. That technique also allows us to optimize the size of the bolt lugs, because we can control if we can control the contact surface, we can basically control stress to some degree, and optimize the lugs for that load, making them smaller, in which case in the Model 5 over there on the end, that allowed us, the smaller lugs allowed us to have room, where actually the smaller lugs made room for the Mauser style extractor in that action as well. And we can go over that one a little bit more here in a minute.
Which is that's a Remington 500 base action, right?
No, Remington 700.
Oh, 700, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Remington 700 on the outside with a Mauser bolt and a Springfield style ejector. These rifle, but Model 2s also have Springfield style ejectors. Simply, the 03 Springfield ejector and the Mauser extractor, in my opinion, are two of the best ideas throughout all to come about throughout all of bolt action history. So I used them, and when I needed something better, I had to invent it, like the bolt lugs here, for instance, with the toroidal surface to eliminate lapping. Another interesting feature on the Model 2 is you can see the firing pin cam there. It goes both ways, and that's because this is an ambidextrous bolt. To disassemble it, you basically screw a nut down onto this thread, which is basically the end of the firing pin. You can pull, that'll carry the spring load, allowing you to easily just rotate this 90 degrees, rotate this little back portion by 90 degrees and pull it out, right? In which case, after which you can knock this pin out and disassemble the head and all the other little goodies up front. But you can reassemble it with a bolt handle inserted into the other side, effectively making the rifle left opposite hand.
Sure.
So you can do either left or right. That rifle there is configured as a left-handed rifle right now. And you can see here as well. You can see here as well the primary extraction cam. This is a little roller that engages the cuts. There's a cut on either side of the bolt handle, right? One for left, one for right. The little roller engages that for primary extraction. The roller works from both directions. It's the same on both sides, right? It's a circle. So the cam also functions as, or the roller also functions as the bolt stop You simply lift it up,
Nice.
and the bolt can come out. And the bolt stop engages that little nubbin that's cut onto the extractor collar. It's just integrally machined into the extractor collar. What else can I tell you about this? Yeah, the chassis, it's got a folding stock. All you have to do is squeeze it and rotate it. I'll probably add another feature to safeguard against accidental hinging. It can be disassembled with this member. You can disassemble it and reassemble it with this member flipped over, and then it'll swing to the other side. So as it can do with this rifle right here. Not as good going to the left, but anyway.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense if you're going to swap the bolt around.
Yeah,
And of course, the bolt's flush, so it's it's pretty close to flush, so that doesn't get in the way anyways when you're folding it down.
right. You can fold the stock over the bolt handle on either side of the rifle.
Right. I was wondering. I was going to ask why the rake angle on the bolt, why it's so low. But is that the reason why?
Yeah, you have to keep it out of the way of the stock, and it actually, we just come down and then kick out the bolt knob, and it's a little easier to reach. However, these rifles are all prototypes. They are in a very advanced state of production, or not in an advanced state of production, but they are in an advanced state of development right now. However, so mechanically they're pretty sound at this point in time. Where they need work right now is ergonomics, and at this point, it's pretty nice because they offer a great platform, we've got this fantastic foundation upon which we can, finish this design. We can complete this project now, and really, the next stage will really, really pay close attention to the ergonomics and the usability of the rifle.
What about a monopod back here? It looks like you're railed
The rail
for
is
one,
there.
but
I personally don't like monopods. Most guys I know that shoot really well don't use them. Most people have adopted bags.
I think
like-
people are moving away from the bags. At least the people that I shoot with.
That hasn't been my experience at all,
Yeah.
but that's fine. I mean, either way, for the monopod crowd, we've given them the rail here.
Yeah.
This is a sport hand grip. Right now, it's a little too far forward. This is hitting the back of my hand, but all this is going to get